I am Hardik Dungarwal, first year MBA Business Analytics student of SCMHRD.
And I'm Akshay Rana, first year MBA Business Analytics student
Business
as
Analytics student.
SCMHRD.
Welcome to our podcast of SCOPECast Season 3. Today, we are truly honored to have with us Mr. Siddarth Sharma, a seasoned professional in the financial crime and risk management domain. Siddarth is currently the Vice President at Wells Fargo, where he leads the strategies for fraud prevention and detection across consumer and small business banking. Prior to this, he served as a senior consultant at EXL, driving fraud strategy and optimization for leading investment banks. Siddharth holds his MTech degree from prestigious institute IIT Bombay, further underscoring his strong academic and technical foundation. On the behalf of entire STMHRD fraternity, we extend a very warm welcome to you, Siddharth. It's a privilege to have you join us today for a conversation on future of financial crime, emerging trends, and the transformative role of AI and automation in this space.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thank you
s-
for having me here.
Thank you so much, sir. So, to set the stage for today's discussion, financial crime is something we all hear about, but many students don't clearly understand how it actually works in the real world. In simple terms, if you could explain, help us understand what financial crime really is, how it typically happens, and why tackling it has become so critical in today's business environment.
Yeah. Right. So, if you talk about financial crime, what we have heard so far, basically in our growing up years, is basically the money laundering is one of the financial crime where people gain money from illicit or illegal types of funds, and they try to layer it, integrate it, open fake companies, open mule accounts. These come under financial crimes, and these we used to think. But financial crime is a broader domain. It also includes somebody doing a fraud, and it can be fraud for a bank by getting account details of somebody else, let's say, and then transacting on their behalf. It can be also someone posing someone else by using IDs, checking his IDs, or using synthetic IDs, and doing an identity theft fraud.
Acha.
So these can be of multiple types, financial crimes. To your
Okay.
second question, how it is to be caught or basically getting attention. So I would say, in if I talk about USA market, so last year, like 2024, the fraud losses which happened in USA was around $12.5 billion, which is a huge amount. Plus, it also the growth rate of fraud losses was around 25%. So from 2023 to 2024, 25% increase was there. So that's why it's become very important with the advent of new technologies like you all have heard of in these days, ML, AI, Gen AI, agentic
Yes.
AI. So there are multiple things, which are in a way helping fraudsters or helping people who are doing financial crimes to enter into the systems, do the wrongful activity and get out. At the same time, these will help us also to catch, but it's like a cat and mouse game where they use the technologies first, abuse them, and then we as organizations have to use them in ethical way, in a systematic way, in a phased way, and that takes time. So that's why use of new technologies have increased this financial crimes growth rate, I would say, with a great extent.
So that clearly gives a fundamental of what financial crime is. Now that we understand what and why behind the financial crime, sir, we have seen AI and automation making serious inroads into the financial crime space. Looking ahead, how do you see these technologies shaping financial crime detection and investigation for the next 3 to 5 years?
Okay. Um, that's a, I would say, very good question and a futuristic question. So looking ahead, I would say. So if we talk about, let's say, from this year, what trends we have seen and what trends we are likely to see. So people are, and people, I would say in terms of people, I will talk about the fraudsters basically. The fraudster earlier who used to just do the, accounts tampering, sending and illicit links, making fake websites. These were the, I would say, the basic things that fraudster used to do. Now they have evolved into deep faking. So they can mimic the voice of customer. They can, mimic the face of the customer. So these are the things, that are, being abused, the technology being abused by them. And in the next 3 years, we would say, a swamp of these activities getting risen in our fraudulent activities, fraudulent behavior, fraudulent patterns, use of Gen AI, NLP, anything agentic AI. These will help, give them more access to our system, more access to our data, or, entering into someone else's data accounts. So these are the first steps, these are the first patterns that we are, have started to see, and we will, continue to see for 3 to 4 years, until and unless all our organizations also develop similar activities. I would say AI is, on a nascent stage as of now, in terms of how we are using it to counter the fraud activities. But in terms of fraudulent activities, it's not at nascent stage, they are very advanced. Um, and we are catching up. So we are building rules, we are building agentic AI, we are using advanced ML methods to detect, let's say, synthetic IDs, mule accounts, um, these defakings. So it's a, catching up game that after 3 to 4 years, how this technology will evolve, we have to evolve along with it. And that's, the plan, and what would see in next 3 4 years, both at fraudster end and both at, organization end.
Sir, as you said, the AI that is being used to counter the fraud detection, which is at very nascent stage as compared to what is being used for doing the fraud detection. I want to understand the role of human intervention as we move forward, as these AI systems evolve further.
Yes. uh, Everyone has heard of, AI taking jobs because, it is removing human interaction to some extent. I would say it is opening a new plethora of opportunities as well as the side by side. So human intervention will be required definitely, and I would not say next 10 years it would go away. AI cannot replace human, because there are many things, when, there are, for at a certain, let's say for a certain rule, we have conditions A and condition B to be matched for, let's say, detecting an account to be fraud. And let's say both condition match, and we can deploy AI at that time. But let's say any slight variation in any one of the conditions, we would like to reach out to customer, uh, ask for some documents, OTP, something, to make sure that what we are doing is correct. We are not taking a genuine customer as a fraud. And that is a very important thing. We cannot, let our customer experience down. And if what I have seen personally, let's say I have a complaint in such and such XYZ company, and when I, raise a complaint, if an AI answers, I am slight of, pissed off. There should be some, human l- interaction at some level. So let's say if AI is able to solve my general queries, I am happy. But let's say I want to, explain my situation, I want a human to listen to me. So there maybe, or what we companies are doing, they are maybe start with an AI agent who can, answer your general queries. But at end of day, when customer satisfaction is required, you have to have a human to listen to them, because not everything in world, works on rules or not on specific conditions. There are always variations, because this is human nature. Something which is bound to be happen systematically doesn't happen, and the person or our customer needs to be heard of. and AI can't do such things, and because they will have a standard response which can drive our customer away from and at the backbone of every industry, every organization is the customer, which is human, which is not AI. So we can leverage AI for our general queries so far because it's at nascent stage, I would say. But if we want to retain customer, if we want to make our customer happy, and if we want our customer make heard of, we always have to have a human interaction at end of day. So it should be a mix of AI plus human, I would say.
That's very powerful perspective, sir. Going forward, if now we could discuss the crime patterns or typologies that you have observed recently that organizations should be paying close attention to, that would be helpful.
Yeah, definitely. So the frauds have evolved, I would say, into scams now. And there were earlier mostly typical three basic types of fraud that used to happen, which was account takeover, where somebody will take your account credentials, do a transactions. Second one was identity theft, where someone would steal your identity and apply on your behalf for, let's say, credit card. And third one was first party fraud, where you yourself are doing something illegal or something, transaction and claiming it was not me. These were three typical types of fraud we used to, see in our data. Now, what we are seeing in the rise of trends is the scams. And then scams is basically somebody's luring into a, let's say, fake website, fake link. New pattern which I have seen recently is somebody is, posing as a person of interest to on dating apps, and telling you that let's say the person is in some other country, and he talks to you in a very romantic scam kind of thing. And then once you are involved, he or she tells you that they want to come to your country, and for that they will require passport, visa, and everything. And that will require some money, and that could be transferred in cryptos. So or maybe wire transfers. So these are the things which I've seen recently. They will fall into social engineering kind of scams. So it could be of romantic scams, it could be a job scam, it could be delivery scams. Somebody giving you link where somebody creating a fake website. I've recently heard like people in real estate were conned off. Somebody posed at it and they want to open a retail chain, and they made a full website of that retail chain, copied that website and got the money as a security deposit from the real estate broker, and scammed him. So these are the patterns which have become very easy use of AI. I have already told you how it is easy for, personal scams, or I would say emotional scams using deepfakes. Somebody can call you and, tell you in voice of your son, your daughter, your father or mother that they are in distress and they need money urgently. We have seen in India people, posing as police inspectors using, using police station backgrounds and saying their delivery parcel has been caught by customs, and you need to give money to avoid such kind of arrest and all. So these are the patterns, I would say, we have seen recently rising in terms of fraud and financial crimes.
Sir, you talked about various type of typologies like account takeover, identity theft. I can very much relate to that because I do have similar kind of experience. What I want to understand further is like how human intervention is playing a key role in identifying these type of threats where people are getting calls from someone anonymous, they don't know them, or someone posing as some relative, deep faking their voice. How can humans intervene and protect these type of frauds?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would say for us, let's say if we are in an organization, there is a thing called liability. So if something happens to our customer, whose liability is to give the money back or get the money back. So in terms of frauds, it's for always the banks who used to somehow give the money back and bear the losses. But in terms of scams, what is the, when liability falls, or, uh, how to catch these frauds happens is because the customer himself has done the transaction. So in our rules or strategy, we don't find anything anomalous. We don't think anything hitting on our rules, because the customer himself, although he was trapped by someone, he was not aware he was doing a fraudulent transaction, but he himself is doing it. So the liability falls on the customer himself that he should not do this transaction. But at the same time, we cannot, put all the liability to a customer, because eventually, if all our customers are affected, it's a loss to the reputation of our bank and financial institution as well. So I
Right,
would
sir.
say human intervention falls into the educating our customers. That's why you would see many messages circulating from our Reserve Bank of India. We have seen, and then many ads coming to how to avoid scams. So as these patterns grow into, I also would like to say I have seen this pattern grow from basically metro cities. And when these metro cities people get aware of the scams, their fraudster move to smaller towns and then smaller towns, and that's how they percolate into all over country basically. So it's all depends on educating our customers, or not just our customers, basically every customer, that these types of scams are occurring. And somebody, let's say somebody is a victim of that scam, he or she should always, speak up, make awareness, talk about in social media, talk to the customer representatives in the banks, so that more and more people are aware of and they can avoid it. Because these basic things we already know, that we do not share our OTP. We should not, click on any unsecured links. We should double check the website that we're looking on. We should not get lured by any urgency if somebody is posing as something is very urgent. We should also be aware that if we should trust our children or siblings if somebody is using their deepfake voices, deepfake images to lure into financial crimes. So these all things come under educating our customers and awareness, and that's where I think everything human is important. It's like a chain reaction. When one person is made aware by us, we he or she should make sure his family, his relatives, his siblings are made aware of, and they also make aware, respective, and that's how our whole system should be an aware uh, system.
Sir, these are really critical trends and things that we have to watch out for. And in such technology and evolving financial crime patterns require not just strong patterns but also strong leadership behind them. And so I want to know, with your extensive experience across leading firms in fraud strategy, risk management, what leadership approach has contributed most to your success in these roles?
Okay, so in terms of fraud detection, prevention, the most important lessons or most important thing that we have observed or I have observed is that, approach to data first. So it's always said that data never lies, and it's true. So we should always check our data. The patterns are visible, from the first day or second day itself in the data of anything, fraud attack or, scams happening in our systems. Second thing, I would say to, have a comprehensive review and, good looking our reports, be in Tableau, Power BI, that doesn't matter. But at every granular level, we should have our reporting of our critical elements, like something in, let's say, fraud is increasing some channel, so we should have a channel level reporting as well, I would say. If something is happening at a particular device level, so we should have device level reporting as well. And these trends should be observed very carefully, very a dedicated team should be there, and dedicated senior person should be always be there to look at these trends, because if we are doing the just sake of reporting or just sake of compliance regulation, we will miss the point. So very important to look at the data, very important to look at the reports carefully, make good reports for our data. Third thing I would say, to train the newcomers, use the newest technologies. Um, the newcomers often comes up with, you know, a fresh approach to a, problem. So it should always be, great effort should be taken to train them, um, and use of their fresh approaches in problem solving, critical thinking, and use of latest technologies. The fourth leadership lesson, I would say, more advanced technology you would use in your organization, more likely that you will catch fraud first, and big fraudster will move away from your organization to a lesser technologically advanced organization. So these three, four lessons, I have, learned so far, and would like to, replicate everyone in their systems and organizations. Mm.
So you talked about organizations. We all heard of organizations like FATF, FinCEN, Financial Crime Enforcement Network teams based in US. I want to understand how these organizations are evolving with the AI being used by humans uh, to committing these type of crimes, and what roles do these organizations play ensuring the success of a crime-free network?
Okay. So I would not comment on, how they are evolving as, AI is coming, because internally I would say I'm aware of, how internally they are revolutionizing their structure. But I would say their role is very important to us. Like say somebody working in a US bank, someone like me. So these are the regulators, or these are the, information bearers who can collect data from every other source. Let's say if I'm working in XYZ bank, I have the data of only that bank. But these organizations get data from every other bank of, let's say, USA. So they have a comprehensive approach to a data. They have the models, or they can build the models which can detect patterns across all financial institution of a, let's say, country, which is very beneficial, which is used by other network providers as well. Similar to this, I would say Visa, Mastercard, they also have this leverage that they can data from every financial institution, versus somebody like Amex, who can get data from only the Amex network providers. So use of these organizations becomes very important. How they are leveraging, I would not comment on it, but I would say they are, developing themselves as a, torch bearers of, providing hot list and hot file of customers who have done repeated fraud, who are, occurring in every financial institutions, or something like synthetic IDs, mule accounts, who are, getting traction. And they are also developing their policies for ethical use of AI, which is, I would say, need of an hour. So currently, anybody can use AI at any, amount of, time, or any go to any lengths to do something, which I would say there should be a standardized, there should be an ethics around it, which should be passed by these organizations as soon as possible, or they are doing it, I would say.
And that's fascinating insights and balance between AI and human intervention. It's really great. So you have explained it very well. Finally, for the students and young professional listening to this and wanted to enter the financial crime and risk domain today, what are the core skills, tools, or certification would you recommend focusing on?
Okay. So, uh, so this is something, a journey that I have also been through. That when I was studying, or engineering or something, I did not imagine myself working in financial crime or fraud detection strategy, I would say. So basic things would be any one language, coding language that you can master, which could be, I would say, for need of our, I would say, Python. So Python would be the best. If not Python, second thing or second language you could use is SQL. So any of one of these languages you should master. There are many. courses on there's a website called Kaggle, which host many projects related to analytics. So data analytics is a core of everything. It's not about financial crimes itself, but let's say if you want to build a marketing model also, you will need data analytics. So anything related to data analytics, if project that you can do by your own, it could be a smaller project, it could be of any domain, that will give you how to interpret data, how to build some models. And third thing I would say, to increase your um, skills in statistical concepts. Statistical concepts are very useful in building models and improve accuracy, or read the model's behavior if these patterns are changing. Apart from that, I would say if you can learn on NLP, natural language processing, LLM, large language models, on which our these agentic AIs are getting built. So you may not able to, or you may not want to build agentic AIs or AI models in the future. But let's say if something breaks, systems break, at least if you are aware of what is happening in the background of these AI models, you will be able to figure out the errors. You will be able to figure out, judgment. You will take a judgment call basically. You would able to also see why, if the AI is giving correct result or it's hallucinating basically. So the background knowledge of these AI models built on that will be great course. I would say recommend there are courses on Coursera or Udemy on LLMs, NLP. But before going to that, I would say start from Python, do the course on Python or SQL, do a basic statistical course, learn the concept of p-value or decision tree, these things. Do also a course of machine learning. I would say machine learning is something our organization are already at advanced level. So we are tackling high, and machine learning tools to tackle AI, Gen AI, deepfaking, and from there we will able to AI, agentic AI as well. So that's how you progress. Do not jump the gun directly to LLM models, because that will be difficult to grasp on. Start slowly, but start consistently.
Thank you so much, sir, for your guidance. But in lieu of time, I think we have to conclude our talks here. It was a great session, and thank you for taking time to join us today and sharing such valuable insights. Your perspective on emerging trends, the AI you talked about, and the importance of human oversight have truly enriched our understanding of financial crimes. Thank you for being a part of this talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it was pleasure to talk to you, to young minds. I hope all the best for you, and